Joining us on the Celebrity Hotline, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kevin Federline. Kevin Federline, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right, you got this book called "You Thought You Knew." Now, in the book and in the promotional interviews, you talk about your motivation. It's to sound the alarm for Britney's well-being and to finally tell your side of the story. So, after years of relative silence, Kevin, what was the specific thing that made you decide that now, 2025, was the time to speak out publicly, very publicly, about your ex-wife, Britney Spears?
Well, I mean, for me, it's being able to finally tell my story, right? Like, I've stayed quiet for 20 years and watched so many other people, media outlets, and other people's perspectives on my life. So, really, it was, I wanted to make sure my kids were old enough to get behind it. I wanted to make sure that they were okay with it. And, that originally is why I did this, right? But over the course of writing this book, I realized that I needed to also sound the alarm because, Britney needs help. And my sons want their mother around. My sons want to have have a connection to their mom that's just been non-existent for quite some time.
Well, you said that the Free Britney movement should be now the Save Britney movement. And can you explain, why you believe she needs to be saved today and now that the conservatorship has ended?
Well, I mean, I think if anybody's been paying attention, you could tell that things aren't quite right. And, there's addiction there that I think, she's the one. Nobody can help her but her, right? Like, that's kind of what it is with addiction. You push everybody that cares about you out, and you are stuck with your vices. And I felt like I needed to come sound the alarm because I want, to try and wake up something in her that will, get her to fight for her kids, fight for sobriety. And then maybe you can start taking baby steps to get back to, something I feel our children deserve. And the Free Britney movement.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say the Free Britney movement, it's kind of like created a wall around her to where nobody who actually cares about her can help. And, I sit here and watch her family and my sons navigate that. And it's, came apparent to me while I was writing the book that I needed to step up and really, like, who would I be as a father if I didn't try to help the mother of my kids, right? Like, this isn't, it's just not right. I don't think the Free Britney movement is doing anybody any good service right now.
Kevin, with that, I mean, I love that you're saying you're stepping up to help the mother of your children. So how often do you have interaction with Britney Spears these days?
I haven't for a long time, and that's another issue, right? It's like, and everybody kind of asks, like, oh, why now? Or having assumptions of why this is being done. But, if you really look at it, it's like we've tried everything for years. You know what I mean? I mean, look at, she was in a conservatorship for 13 years. Even before that, behind the scenes, there was, times where she would go to rehab and interventions and all of these things. Like, I mean, everything has been done. So I felt like coming out and finally laying the truth out there, especially in a situation where everybody felt like they knew everything that's happened. I feel like, me and my family and our sons and everybody's kind of been living the lie. And, it's time for that to stop.
Well, and you understand, Kevin, a lot of people are critical of this book. You're detailing pretty highly personal and humiliating moments, from 2 decades ago. Like you said, Joan Crawford on crack comparison. It's not helping her, but in fact is cruel. So how do you reconcile the goal of helping Britney with the act of publishing allegations that could cause her significant public shame and, with somebody who's already on the edge, emotional distress?
Well, it's not, the last thing I want to do is hurt anybody. But like I said, for me and my family, we have been living the lie, and telling the truth, I feel, is the only way to move forward, right? I don't want my kids growing up just being okay with everything painted as this, picture that really isn't true. I want my kids to know that whenever they feel they need to stand up and be honest, that they should do that, right? So I'm trying to lead by example. This isn't about tearing Britney down. This is about telling the truth so we can get to a point to build her up so she can have the relationship that our kids deserve. I want her around, I want her. I mean, look, we don't want another Whitney. We don't want another Amy Winehouse. We don't want, right? So if you care about somebody, then you got to do what you got to do to try to make sure that doesn't happen, and that's what I'm doing.
Well, you talked about, your sons gave you their blessings to write the book. As teenagers and young adults, do you think they could fully grasp the lifelong implications of having their family stuff and their private statements about their mom published for the world to see?
I mean, they've been living that for a long time already anyways, right? It's like, Our business has been in the street from day one, since me and Britney got together. So it's kind of just really putting the truth of it out there instead of letting the headlines run the show.
When the whole headlines were going down, and they were in the Free Britney movement started and the conservatorship ended, how did you feel at that moment about that decision? Was that the right decision at the time, or were you against that when it happened?
Well, I mean, I talk about this in my book, right? I feel like if Britney feels the way that she did and she has trauma from all of this and she wanted to be out of the conservatorship, then that's what she deserves. And we can't ignore what it's done to her, right? But I'm sitting here watching what it's done to everybody else as well, right? The things that people don't talk about, the things that people don't see. And for me, my kids are more important than anything. So it's a difficult situation, and anybody, out there that has family members with addiction or mental health issues, they know, this is not an easy road. It's not a one size fits all. Each case is different, and the fact that this has been so publicly, so publicized, I mean, it's been difficult. I don't know, that it's really hard to say. It's really hard to say that, the conservatorship was the right thing, the wrong thing. I don't know. But I definitely know that during the conservatorship, a lot of the addiction behavior and all of the things that are happening over the last few years weren't happening, not like now. And now I'm terrified because there's, saying.
Yeah, you make some pretty big allegations about, her substance abuse, using coke while breastfeeding, drinking while pregnant. And these are not just claims about her character. It's about criminal acts that endangered her kids, your kids. Yeah. So why did you choose to reveal this now rather than addressing it at the time?
Well, because at the time she wound up in a conservatorship and I felt like at the time privacy was needed. Right? It was, I was trying to protect her. This is somebody that I absolutely love to death, and now our kids are older, but I mean, it's the same type of situation, the things that my kids have seen, the things that my kids are living through right now as young adults, it's just it's time to wake up.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Kevin, the book is called You Thought You Knew. It's out now. It's available wherever you get your books. Do you do an audiobook where you read it?
Yeah. Audiobook on Audible, on Spotify, on Apple, all of those. So you can get it anywhere, all platforms.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time, man. Good luck on your book tour.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
See you. Bye. I wish I had more than. Anytime you heard that
dial tone,
that was his people buzzing in.
Yeah, tell us to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Not a fan. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
not a fan.
Great question. Great last question, Riz. That was. I think that's what a lot of people are.
I don't
thinking.
know. I wish I had more time to kind of dig in.
I want to know.
I just my motivations behind airing out the mom of your kids, stuff like that.
Right. 20-something
years later. I don't know.
I want to know the last time, and I wish we did have more time because I want to, he doesn't have contact with her anymore, it sounds like, but when was the last time? I get boundaries have to be placed, for his own mental health with somebody going through such an ordeal, but I'm interested to know, when's the last time Kevin Federline and Britney Spears actually had, a sit down and talking about their lives and their shared children?
Well,
it is such an interesting case, though.
It's a very interesting case.
We're not talking about somebody that's. This is not a normal circumstance.
I can't imagine living in that bubble. I cannot. And 99.99999% could not imagine what it's like in that celebrity bubble like that.
Sure.
She was the biggest celebrity, in the world at one time.
Certainly the biggest celebrity we will ever hear of being under a conservatorship.
Sure. But what I wanted to ask one final question before we started hearing the friggin' dial tones from the publicists were, okay, if it's not Free Britney, it's Save Britney, what do you do? Besides publishing this book, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you got to have action.
What are you going to do?
You can't just say things. You have to actually walk the walk.
What actions do you plan to take beyond publishing this book?
Yeah, capitalizing on the mental unwell-being.
So have you weighed the option of like the devastating toll this could take? If this is your last resort to save her, did you sit down and talk for profit, by the way?
Right.
Get out of here. I just wanted to be like, shut up, man. Get out of here. Like, I get it. He is closer. He probably cares about her more than the public who wanted to free her. All these like jokesters on Twitter that are Free Britney that have disappeared into the ether now that she's
free.
Completely bananas.
All right. Well, our job is done here.
Right. We freed her. Oh, whoops.
It's like opening all the cages at the zoo and going, okay, we're done
Oh,
here.
man, the lions are eating people.
Right.
Perhaps we did not think this through.
Well,
they all
were good
joined me
intentions.
on the Cracker Barrel movement, so I appreciate them coming over there. Yeah.
They were
great.
good intention, though. I think people wanted to see her free because they wanted to. They would hope that other people in her personal life would step up and still let her be a free agent, but like not go the way she's gone. You know, nobody could really plan that she was going to be, in lingerie with knives and dog poop in the background
also,
and dancing for us every day.
But
Those were there.
They don't have to deal with the fallout. They don't have to deal with anything.
Right.
And we know a sliver of what's actually happening.
Absolutely.
I get where he's coming from. I think the thing that I just didn't even want to try. I knew we didn't have a lot of time, but the thing that I would ask is like, yes, I did like what he had to say about like waiting till his kids were old enough to be like, hey, I wanted to make sure you guys are okay with this.
Right.
That sounded fairly responsible. He had a couple of responsible answers, but at the same time, it's like, if this doesn't go the way you want, if there's bad fallout from this, like, have you weighed those? Because you said it. No one can get help until they want help. So you publishing a book isn't necessarily going to be that is not necessarily going to be the catalyst for her to want help. Well, so it could be a thing that sends her down a worse path, which she doesn't have a whole lot of room.
She's deactivated her social media since this book came out. Is she back on now?
She's back on now.
Well,
she spoke out against the book. The New York Times had an article about it.
Well,
I do hope she gets the help that she needs.
I do as well. Also the timing with, now that her kids are adults, now that their kids are adults, and his child support payments, have ended.
How much was he getting a month?
$20,000 a month.
Wow. Over how much time?
He was getting $12,000 a month in child support and additional alimony. And he writes that the money didn't stretch as far as he thought. What?
Wow, Kevin. Yeah, I am not having the lifestyle off of this that I thought I would.
I can only afford 3 fedoras a month, dude. Do you know how hard it is to have to rotate 3 fedoras? My friends all laugh at me when I wear the same fedora on Thursday that I wore on Monday.
We're a 4 fedora family.
I also just think that the timing is a little suspect that the kids just aged out of child support.
Right.
And now we have a book.
That's a good point.
We just stopped getting $20,000 a month, and all of a sudden we got to help Britney.
Now we need more money for
Now,
fedoras.
maybe it is because the kids are grown. It's like, hey, you guys are grown. Now I want to tell my side of the story. You guys are 18.
Sure. And maybe his non-disclosure is now...
There's an argument both ways for that.
Is now up.
It conveniently coincides... The fact that it's for profit conveniently coincides with...
Yeah, and 314, great point. Kevin Federline writing a book may have been a release for him also.
For sure. But you're dealing with that.
Like, you got kids, and you're putting your... I always think of the children.
The children.
Think of the children.
I'll give him this. He didn't sound like a total dope.
He didn't.
He sounded like he was fairly eloquent. More than I expected, to be honest.
All right, well...
Yeah, I wanted a bro in there or something.
Yeah,
Hardly any bro.
But it's hard. There's 2 sides to every story. I guess.
You gotta give a bro to get a bro. You know.
I didn't bro him.
Bro.
We could have had a bro now.
No bros.
Well, he's meeting us.
What's up, bro?
Get on, get.
What's up, bro? What, bro? What's up, bro? Take a swing, bro. Right here, bro.
Oh,
Why you gotta
that's
disrespect,
Wow.
bro? I do respect you, bro. Show some respect, bro. I do respect you, bro. Stop disrespecting, bro. I respect you, bro. Okay, I respect you, too. Okay.
That was actually Brittany and Kevin's last interaction.